is Kateryna Romashko, and I currently intern in a Red Hat company in Ireland. And today I'm with my colleague Ben Kapper, who is software engineer in our research team. We're going to present our presentation about processing terabytes of astronomy data at scale with AC3 project, which is part of Horizon research project. So let's quickly see what is AC3, and don't ask me what happened with first and second, right? So AC3 stands of Agile and Cognitive Cloud Age Continuum. So if shortly we have, sorry, just like know my notes. It's a cutting-edge platform designed to unify cloud and edge computing with AI-driven architecture. Just thinking about this as the brain, which is managing process manages resource across distributed environments. It could be in the cloud age or in a premise. So the most prioritized for our project is sustainability and scalability. So at the moment we have three different use cases. Use case first is IoT and data. Second one is managing and analyzing systems. And third one, which is we're gonna present you right now, it's astronomy data. So if you're asking me about why astronomy data, firstly because modern telescopes recording 3D data modeling in a as I said, modern telescopes generate terabytes of 3D data cubes per observation, and it's capturing details like stellar kinematics and galaxy evolution. But processing of this data is really huge, and in traditional way, it's really painful to do it manually. And challenges which we have in our project, firstly, it's automatically manage all these processes that scientists could spend less time for process all this data, and especially because this slide. So yeah, challenges. So without automation, it could take for weeks or even like for months. All these challenges which you see, our project could solve. So, and also like if we're talking about astronomy data, all of you just could image like stars, right? But what our systems see, it's just cube of data. Like we have three different spaces. I'm not going to talk deeper about exactly astronomy data because for our use case, more necessary to work just with files. But inside in these files, we have information from these cubes. Like if you see a picture in the corner, we just like slices this information, and that's what we have in our files. So, how works our use case 3 astronomy? If we look on our workload, firstly we have AI architectures and managers resource across diverse computing environments. Also we have life cycle management, including data storage and microservice deployments and scaling. So let's just look closer to our architecture, and that's actually the most interesting in all this presentation. How it works. We have our telescope in Madrid, and let's say our user just uploads their files. They don't want to worry about how exactly these files move in our system. They want to just upload it and get back their processed files with results. All what we do is just do this delivery system. So all these files is going to our observation data storage. We have orchestra who is looking for new data. We take all this new data, we process it and send it to the queue. So we split it, let's say, from terabytes of data. We split it for short, like, let's say, hundreds megabytes. So, and just because when we split it, it's more faster and could be scale in our processor. So, yeah, and after when it's completed, it's just going back to the queue and going to orchestrator who is send it back to our storage, and that's how our users get back all this data. So, but next question is, if we have all this system, how we connected to between customers, like let's say telescope, how it's connected to our architecture. And Ben gonna talk how it's working.
Yeah, so basically the workflow is once the astronomers have their data, they want to pass that to us and to facilitate the kind of secure transfer of the data between the astronomers and ourselves. We use EDC data connectors. So these are not typical data connectors. They've been extended by a company called Ionos to work with S3 buckets as both the source of the data and the destination of the data. So these are bidirectional. So instead of needing two sets, one provider and one consumer on either side, we can use the connectors to act as both the provider and the consumer. And basically, one of the main benefits of these connectors is data governance. So it's all secure. Basically, the connectors have to have policies that match on both connectors. Once the policies match, the contracts can be negotiated between the two connectors, and then the data transfer can occur. So the workflow really is the astronomers are going to upload their data into their S3 bucket. We have something that is watching their bucket. We'll transfer the data with the data connectors into our bucket. Then we have the AC3 application that's watching our bucket, and that transfers the data into the local storage. It processes all the data with Starlight, and then Starlight returns it back to our bucket with all the output files. So then we have another watcher that is watching our bucket. It finds all the output files, transfers it back to UCM, or the astronomers, and that's basically the process complete. So, So then the final part then is monitoring and integration. So really, this is all just about collecting metrics to train the auto-scaling models. So we have two different types of scaling that we want to do. We need to be able to scale vertically, so increasing resources to the pods. But we also want to be able to increase the number of pods if the workload is too high. So these are the different metrics that we're trying to expose from the application. So for horizontal auto-scaling, we need to find the average CPU and RAM utilization for the pods, the number of processing pods themselves, the queue length, which all the data is being sent through into the processing pods from the orchestrator. And then for the vertical model, we need to find the RAM and CPU limits and usage. We need to find the job processing time and the queue length.
Yeah, so that's how works our use case 3 with astronomy data. And thank you for your attention. If you have any question, we would like to answer you. Yes?
No, because, sorry. Are we doing any checksums before transferring the data? No, we're not, because basically any data that is found in the S3 bucket has to come from the astronomers, because they're the only ones with access to their bucket. So we can be fairly certain that the data is correct, it is what they put in there, and then when it's transferred, it's exactly the same as what was in their bucket when they uploaded it. Yeah, so, sorry, the AI configured networking. So, basically the question was he didn't see anything about the AI configured networking. So we have a network operator that is kind of a separate piece of the application by itself, or the separate piece of the project by itself. So basically, like as processing pods scale out, they can be multi-cluster. So we have a network operator that is going to basically, it's configured by an AI-driven lifecycle manager. And that is that's where the AI comes into it. So we have resource profiles and we have application profiles. And these look at like the infrastructure resources and then like understand the application itself that is being deployed. So when we have processing pods that are being split across multiple clusters, the AI-driven lifecycle manager is going to kick the network operator into effect, and that's going to start creating links between all the clusters where the processing pods are actually deployed, and then they can all communicate with each other and understand what's been processed and what hasn't been. Any other questions?
Any more? Okay, so yes, that's all. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.